Well, that show tonight was awesome. From top to bottom, kudos to everybody in the WWE who put on that show tonight. That was an awesome, awesome Royal Rumble. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me here tonight. You all know who I am. This is Joseph Conlon, here with the Royal Rumble review on Sunday, January 31st, 2020. It's almost February 31st as it's 11 p.m. Eastern Time here in the East Coast. We just saw the 2021 Royal Rumble. The road to WrestleMania has started tonight. Overall, the show flew by. It didn't fly by, but it went in a very nice pace. And I really did enjoy myself for the 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours that this show was. Really, I don't have a bad thing. Maybe outside of what happened in the Women's Rumble, a couple things out that. I don't have a bad thing to say about this show. I really don't. So we're going to talk about it tonight. We're going to try to get out of here in about 20 minutes just to not be that long. Got school tomorrow. It's late. You guys know the deal. But thank you for joining me here tonight. Let's just get started, shall we? Let's just get started. Talk about the Royal Rumble. I'm not going to talk about the pre-show match. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax defeated Asuka and Charlotte to win back the Women's Tag Team Championships. Just going to put that off to the side tonight. But the main show, the actual Royal Rumble itself, started off with the good old devil himself, Bill Goldberg, and he went one-on-one against Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. This match went about 2.5 minutes. McIntyre gave Goldberg a headbutt, and then he gave him a spear. They were fighting on the outside, but then Goldberg actually speared McIntyre into the barricade. The match started. McIntyre hit a Claymore with Goldberg kicking out. And then Goldberg, 2 spears, a jackhammer. It wasn't the best jackhammer ever, but it was a jackhammer nonetheless. Drew McIntyre barely kicked out. I was so nervous. Guys, I was really, really nervous after Drew McIntyre got hit in the jackhammer. Thankfully, he kicked out, and then Goldberg went for the spear again. McIntyre dodged it, hit a Claymore kick, and Drew McIntyre thankfully retained the WWE Championship against Goldberg tonight. After the match, the two shook hands, they hugged, and Goldberg was absolutely exhausted walking up the ramp. Thank Christ, McIntyre retained the championship here. It was the only right decision. It would have been a terrible outrage on social media if Goldberg had won the WWE Championship from Drew McIntyre. McIntyre retains. He is rightfully and most likely going into WrestleMania as the WWE Champion. Goldberg, I heard rumors that he was a lock for WrestleMania. I don't know what they're going to do with him. I'm not sure. But thankfully, he is not going, from my perspective, after tonight, it looks like he's not going to be in a World Championship match at WrestleMania, and I'm very happy about that. So, Drew McIntyre retains. I'm not even going to say the match was bad just because McIntyre won. It was fine for what it was. If Goldberg had won the match, it's a totally different story. But McIntyre got the win, rightfully so, and it was a good way. I guess it was a good way to start the show. Then we had Sasha Banks against Carmella for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I honestly would have had this match go on after the Royal Rumble. I didn't really care about this match for what it was. It was decent. It was not better than their match at TLC. I thought their match at TLC was much better than this match tonight. But, they had a decent little match. Reginald got kicked out from the ringside, and Sasha Banks actually tapped out Carmella later on, and she retained the SmackDown Women's Championship. She is the SmackDown Women's Champion probably going into WrestleMania. And who's she going to face? Let's talk about it. The Women's Royal Rumble match was in the smack that middle of the show. It started off with I don't have all the participants' names and what number they went in at. That's wasting too much time. I'm not going to talk about that. We're just going to talk about the major points that happened in the match. It started off with Bayley and Naomi at 1 and 2. Number 3 was Bianca Belair. That was very important. Bianca Belair came out at number 3 in this match and went right after Bayley. As far as surprises go, we saw Jillian, who was doing some stuff with Billie Kay. We saw Tori Wilson. We saw Rhea Ripley, who I think was the official call-up tonight to the main roster. We saw NXT, like Toni Storm, Shotzi Blackheart, who was the first one eliminated. Dakota Kai was in there. And if I could think of any others, that's it. That was all the NXT superstars in there. Victoria was in there as well. The Final Four. Hold on. Before we get to the Final Four, that's where I think the match started to get good. We had Alicia Fox come in at 21. R-Truth's music hit. They were doing some stuff, and then, the 24/7 title stuff has absolutely no business. It has no business being in the Royal Rumble match at all. It just really, it kills the vibe, and I felt like it killed the vibe a little bit. They had the catering crew running around. Alicia Fox pinned R-Truth. Then R-Truth pinned Alicia Fox. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. In my opinion, it killed the vibe of the show. Not the show, but the match itself. But we got to the Final Four. I believe it was Charlotte, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and Natalya. So I believe it was Bianca who eliminated Natalya. And then we had both Bianca and Rhea go after Charlotte. Charlotte looks like she's about to eliminate Rhea. Bianca helps. Charlotte's hanging on the outside. Rhea and Bianca both take down Charlotte, and having these three in the finals was a nice flashback to this time last year when, all three of them were feuding over the NXT Women's Championship heading into TakeOver Portland. So the final two was Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. This was very good. This was a really good standoff between Rhea and Bianca. Rhea was very close to eliminating Bianca, but then I believe it was a head scissor. I'm not exactly remember how Bianca won, but Bianca got her moment. I was very proud of her. She absolutely deserved to win that match, no question about it. And she is going to WrestleMania. She cut another very emotional promo after the match. She's going to WrestleMania. It was great stuff. And I think we all know she's going to be picking Sasha Banks as her opponent for WrestleMania. That is all but confirmed. And that match is going to be awesome. That is going to be an awesome match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And I really cannot wait to see that. That is going to steal the show. I'm telling you right now. It's January now. The Royal Rumble just got finished. At WrestleMania in April, that match will steal the show, whether it's on night 1 or night 2. I don't care what night it's on. That is going to be the best match of the night. I'm telling you guys right now. I was very happy that she won the Rumble. She deserved it. Everybody's behind her. Everybody wants to see Bianca versus Sasha, and we're going to get it at WrestleMania now. Let's move on to the Universal Championship match. This was a last man standing match between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. This match was incredibly brutal, and I mean that in a very, very, very good way. These two absolutely kicked the shit out of each other for 25 minutes. They fought up in the Thunderdome, hitting each other with steel chairs, super kicks, and Superman punches. And Roman Reigns tossed Owens off the Thunderdome through 2 announce tables, and Owens got back up at 10. Then, this was the spot in the match, in my opinion. Owens, he's just roaming around backstage, trying to recuperate himself. There's a ring there that is like a warm-up ring, I think. And then, all of a sudden, Roman Reigns comes driving by with a golf cart, and Kevin Owens goes right through the plastic windshield. That was an unbelievable spot. That was really an unbelievable spot. I know they stole that from AEW, because AEW did it first. But it was a great match. Stop complaining about it. They really do. And then, so obviously KO gets back up from that. He's fighting back. He gives Roman a pop-up powerbomb onto the announcer table. It didn't break. Then KO got on some cart. He lifted up a fork, and he climbed on top of it, and he delivered a goddamn swanton bomb 15 feet in the air to Roman Reigns. That spot was amazing. And then they fight to the front part of, they fight on the stage, and Roman Reigns spears Owens through the stage. Owens slides his way back up before the 10 count. Roman Reigns is like, what the hell, man? What do I got to do to beat this guy? So he gets handcuffs. He's handcuffing Kevin Owens to some post. And then Roman gets hit by a stunner and a super kick. KO has the handcuffs. He handcuffs Roman Reigns to the post near the stage. And Roman Reigns can't get up. He is handcuffed to the post. And next to the golf cart spot, this was my favorite part of the match. And it wasn't even close. This just goes to show you how awesome of a heel that Roman Reigns is right now. The referee is counting. Roman Reigns cannot get up. The referee gets at 9. Roman Reigns takes a fistful of the referee's shirt and he throws him at the LED screen. And the official is down. That part was awesome. Then Paul Heyman came with the key. And he was struggling. Let me tell you, Paul Heyman was struggling to get that key off the handcuff and let Roman Reigns free. But eventually, it took him about 2 minutes, but he let him free. And then Roman Reigns puts KO in the guillotine, and that's the match. Roman Reigns retains the Universal Championship. It was a great way to end the feud. The last man standing match. It was awesome. Roman Reigns retains against Kevin Owens. And I give a lot of credit to Kevin Owens. I said it on the preview predictions with TM161 that you need a really good babyface to go up against a heel like Roman Reigns, and Kevin Owens did his job wonderfully. He did a wonderful job the last 2 months against Roman Reigns. And he's the definition of a great babyface, in my opinion. And, to all the people, I'm getting responses on my tweet about the match. To all the people that they stole a spot from AEW, and Roman Reigns can only put on a decent match and has 2 moves. Okay, you need to look yourself in the mirror as a wrestling fan. If you cannot see yourself how Roman Reigns has changed, you're fooling yourself. Okay? This is not the old Roman Reigns. Okay? This Roman Reigns tells stories. He tells great stories. He plays his role excellent. He is actually loving his role as a heel, as the Universal Champion right now. And I'm going to say it, okay? He is the top heel in the business right now. And, Kenny Omega, he might be there in a couple months. But right now, that throne is Roman Reigns' throne right now as the top heel in the wrestling business. What's Roman Reigns doing at WrestleMania? Personally, I think it was answered tonight. The men's Royal Rumble match started off with Edge and Randy Orton as they were brawling on the outside. They weren't even in the ring to start the match. Orton and Edge, they were brawling on the outside. Sami Zayn comes in at number 3. Edge gives Orton a DDT on the announce table. And Edge takes out Orton's leg with a steel chair. Very, very important. Orton gets taken out of the match. And he is helped to the back by officials. So Orton is out because of Edge. Some other important parts of the match. We got returns from Kane, Carlito. I spit in the face of people that aren't cool. Yes, that Carlito. By the way, I know I'm not the only one, but that dude is in great shape. Carlito is in great shape, and he looked great tonight. He didn't last that long, but he looked great for what he did. Kane was in there. He had a nice little moment with Daniel Bryan who came out at number 17. Damian Priest came out at number 14, got a lot of eliminations. He eliminated Kane until he got eliminated by Bobby Lashley. The one person that stood out to me in this Royal Rumble match, Matt Riddle. I thought he looked great in that Royal Rumble match, helping eliminate Bobby Lashley. Had a lot of face-offs with what's his name? Daniel Bryan. And, he lasted until the final 6, until he was eliminated by, I believe, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, who was number 29, Braun Strowman, came out at number 30. So we got the final 4, technically, without Randy Orton in there. Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins, Edge and Christian. So, Seth is like, come on, Braun. Me and you, we're the future. These guys are the past. Let's get them out. And Braun picks him up, slams Seth Rollins, Edge and Christian. They get out Braun Strowman, but Christian gets tossed over by Seth Rollins. Then Edge tosses over Seth Rollins. Randy Orton comes back in from his knee injury. He hits the RKO on Edge. And I'm sitting on my seat well before this happened. And to myself, I'm like, is Randy Orton... Excuse me. Is Randy Orton really about to win this Royal Rumble match? Like, we just saw Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre for 3 months. But they fooled us. Randy RKO'd Edge. He goes to throw Edge over. Edge reverses it. He actually dumps Randy Orton over the top rope. And Edge, all the way from number one in the Royal Rumble match, wins it. He's going to WrestleMania. And folks, he's challenging for the Universal Championship. It's not confirmed, but in my opinion, there's no way you pass on Edge versus Roman Reigns. Could you imagine the promos that Edge and Roman are going to be cutting on each other from now until WrestleMania? How could you pass? How could you pass on that? Yes, Drew McIntyre versus Edge could be very good as well. But you are not passing on a possible Edge and Roman Reigns Universal Championship match at WrestleMania. I just don't see it happening. I don't see it. That is your WrestleMania main event. Yeah, I am aware that people are upset that Daniel Bryan didn't win, but he was a favorite for sure. But I didn't think that he was going to win. And I knew he was going to face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, because they kind of got into it a little bit during the Survivor Series build. And I'm like, that's a match that's going to happen at WrestleMania. So I don't think Daniel Bryan's going to get his world title match at WrestleMania. He's going to face Seth Rollins. And your main event is Edge versus Roman Reigns. Not next week, because we got Super Bowl week here on the channel. We're still going to do wrestling videos. But, you know, maybe the week after that, where there's not going to be a lot of football content, I might drop a video with you guys where I'm going to predict my WrestleMania matches for each night. And I might, I'm considering doing it. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to make a prediction video on what the match card is going to be for WrestleMania. We are on the road officially to WrestleMania at Tampa Bay, Florida, and Raymond James Stadium. It's going to be fun. It is going to be fun. So, awesome Royal Rumble show tonight. I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the review tonight. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. There's going to be a lot of great content here on the channel with Super Bowl week. We're going to do Raw tomorrow night, AEW, SmackDown. We're getting back into it with wrestling, man. We did a lot of football videos in January up until this week. But on the road to WrestleMania, you're going to get a lot of WWE content here on the channel. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Comment down below your thoughts on the 2021 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. I thought it was an awesome pay-per-view and a great way to start the road to WrestleMania. Hit that like button if you like what you heard from me in the video. And go follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. I will see you guys for your Monday Night Raw review tomorrow night here on the channel. So stay tuned for that. Have a good one. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy.